Your side tonight, warning what can happen when you share online. In 2021, Bradley Anderton, then an assistant district attorney here in the state, worked with the woman suing a man for misdemeanor sexual battery and assault on a female. She alleged the defendant badly assaulted her after she had rejected his unwanted advances. The defense prodded the woman about her work, knowing she'd been an OnlyFans creator. The defendant was among her subscribers. Now, if you're unfamiliar with OnlyFans, Anderton explains.
OnlyFans, which, as you know, is an online platform for people to create content. A lot of times the content is explicit or sexual in nature.
Well, let me ask this straight up. Did the judge have any clue what OnlyFans was?
In the beginning, no, he did not. And so it's important to remember that in the criminal district courts in North Carolina, you've got judges, there aren't any juries. So you've got a judge who's basically both the finder of fact and the gatekeeper of the law. There was a line of inquiry that came in from defense counsel about the OnlyFans usage. I objected to that. I felt that it would be prejudicial to the victim. The judge decided to take a recess, and it's my understanding that he went and then Googled what OnlyFans was. After Googling what OnlyFans was, he came back, he allowed the questions.
Yeah, according to Anderton, the judge believed the published content explained the dynamic between the parties. Anderton's client ultimately lost. In sexual assault cases, the complainant's fate may depend on the judge's awareness of how various online communications platforms work.
In this particular circumstance, the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, because as soon as the question comes in, the judge has to make a determination. And so the onus is on the judge to obviously educate themselves. But in a situation like this, a criminal district court trial where everybody's trying to go home quickly and you may have 10, 12 trials in a single day, judges trying to expedite the process, and in this case just made a snap judgment. And it's frustrating for me, it's frustrating for the victim in the case, obviously. Good for the defendant, I suppose, yeah. But definitely symptomatic of a broader problem in the courtrooms and understanding technology.
Social media and digital communications are fundamental to how we live. They preserve records of relationships and transactions, charting the histories of dynamics that can eventually turn criminal. It's an evolving medium where falling behind with the times can lead to someone lacking crucial context. For judges to allow their understanding to stay inadequate creates perilous conditions for survivors.
When it comes to social media in general, I mean, from Facebook, which I guess is maybe the dinosaur of social media apps these days, compared to the new ones, Snapchat and et cetera, do judges, do you think overall have any grasp on these things?
I think it's so judge specific. Obviously, all lawyers in the state, and this includes judges as well, we have to do continuing legal education. Part of that every couple of years is getting a technology credit. But I don't necessarily think that legal education is keeping pace with all of the changes that we see in social media. It differs from judge to judge because there are some judges, and we see this here in Mecklenburg County, that are on the much younger end of the spectrum, but we also see judges that are on the older end of the spectrum who come in on an emergency basis once they've aged out of the system as well. So it makes it very difficult to sort of generalize in terms of what judges know or what they don't know. But what I will say is I think most judges, just like most lawyers, are frankly ill-equipped to reckon with changes in and modernization in social media because we aren't experts in that. And that's why when you've got jury trials, we always have experts to testify about this sort of stuff. But in the criminal courtroom, in the district courtroom, so often judges are making snap judgments quickly based on a cursory Google search or some information from counsel, and that's probably not ideal.
Folks listening to this conversation at home, what should they take away from it?
I think that what people need to take away is that the social media and technology space is always evolving. And when you come into contact with, or people who have come into contact with the court system, it's on the client, it's also on the attorney to make sure that they understand the social media and technology landscape that exists in their specific case. In my opinion, I just think that people need to make sure that they're educating themselves their attorneys, and continue to talk about the issue as much as possible so that we can be as modernized and up to date in the legal profession.
Yeah, it can have real impact.